The Trader's Edge with your host, Steve Rhodes.
Good morning, all you wonderful money masters and treasure hunters. Welcome to the September 25th terrific Tuesday edition of today's opening call on the Trader's Edge. I'm your host, Steve Rhodes, and I absolutely treasure your presence here today, folks. My outcome is to help you to become a better money master and to provide you with the tools that will just simply help you to be able to lead an inspired life. Because leading an inspired life, folks, that is what it's all about. You know, I caught the ending of the original Rocky movie just within the past week. It was actually cool to see it, and always cool. I think it's just simply a great story of just simply being able to stick to it, you know, and it really goes along the lines of some of the things that I've been talking about here, well, I think over the course of the year, but certainly if you take a look at the last few days. So let's go take a look at one of our tools. This is the tool, folks, that I call Love is the Purpose. Oh, and I actually absolutely love this. You know, last Friday, the tool that I talked about was when you rule your mind, you rule your world. And folks, you can always catch the archives of these shows on Channel 9, on TigerTV, and you can always go catch the first opening minutes there if you're looking for, a way to just simply create an inspired life for yourself and just the different tools or the laws of life, whatever it is that you want to refer to them as. And last Friday it was when you rule your mind, you rule your world. Now, yesterday, what we discussed was just simply, if you don't have a vision, folks, then there just simply is no direction. So if you're saying to yourself, and I have people that tell me this all the time, they say, I just don't have any direction. Well, it becomes really simple. What's your vision? And I ask them what their vision is, and it's always, I don't know. Just create a vision. There's not a right or wrong answer other than if you are just simply wandering out there. It's just simply because you don't have a vision. Well, today's rule, folks, and I talked about vision yesterday and talked about strong reasons why. Well, today's rule is love is the purpose. When we left yesterday, I mentioned that to you. And what's so important is that when you take a look at the mere fact that when you rule your mind, you rule your world, when there is no vision, there is no direction, and then love is really the purpose. You have to have strong reasons why. And each of these folks, they all intertwine with each other. They're interdependent upon each other. And in order to know your outcome, you must, and that's such a key word, you must have a strong purpose or a strong reason why. In my opinion, that's how you keep going. That's how, when life throws you curveballs, it's how you get past them. And I think there's no greater purpose, folks, than love. In fact, love becomes the purpose, in my opinion, of our being alive out there. And surely there's been billions of words out there that have been written about love, but not one, and certainly not all of them, can truly capture the essence, that is within inside you. So most everyone, folks, has heard or has said the word unconditional, right? Love is unconditional, folks. So when you know your vision, there's no conditions on it. If you love what it is that you're doing, like I love what I'm doing right here and being with you right now, I hope that what you are doing in your life, that you absolutely love doing it. You want to find what you're passionate about. And so yesterday I mentioned that importance about vision. And without vision, folks, there is no direction. So let me share with you an incantation. Now, an incantation is something, words basically, what they're able to do is they're able to trigger, your physical being. They represent really only about 8% of your total focus. It represents about 55 to 60% of your focus, just your physical body. If you just simply change your physical body, if you're looking to go from negative to positive, I promise you, a negative person, which way are their shoulders, folks? And which way is their chin and their eyes pointed? You betcha they're pointed down. So if you just simply are feeling negative, all you have to do is just change your physical being out there. And so let me share with you this incantation. Get out your pens, your paper, and go ahead and write this down, because this will work for you, each time that you're about to, maybe have a conversation. How about if you just simply use it? Maybe you're in the sales mode. You've got to sell a product. You've got to, what you want to do is you're going to have a conversation with a client out there. And so you can use this incantation to get you in your right state of mind. So write this down next time you make, and you use this next time you make a sales call. You're just simply trying to, interact with something. So it goes like this. I am a radiating, that's right, you are a radiating center of universe folks, and you are an attraction of good and with the ability to radiate good to others, especially, and just go ahead and kind of put a blank there, and that would be the person that you are about to come in contact with. So I am a radiating center of universal love. That's right, we didn't get that love in there. A radiating center of universal love, folks, mighty to attract the good and with the ability to radiate good to others. And I say, especially you out there, folks. That incantation, folks, that will go ahead and it'll make you feel good. It will bring about it. Now, when you're putting that together, and Tom always likes to say, folks, that you need to step into it. That means visualize it and then step into it. And, folks, that will just simply unleash this power that is absolutely within inside you. It'll be a great thought. And, folks, remember, when you rule your mind, you rule your world. And vision is the direction. But love, folks, that is the purpose. I absolutely love being here with you, folks. It is Terrific Tuesday. Let's go start taking a look at these charts and the markets out here. Right now, we've got the futures are up. Of course, seems like when we come in the mornings, the futures are up and they trade off during the day. The futures are down and they trade up during the day. What's that all been about? Well, that's all been about simply trading sideways. Now, trading sideways, folks, and working off that overbought area inside these markets. And so, from my standpoint, consolidating at these highs was absolutely the best possible thing that we could do out there. This market wants to move higher. I've got my bull horns out. I'm an absolute bull. Short term, intermediate term, long term, and so the move sideways has absolutely been if you could take me back to September 13th, in fact, I know I said it in my newsletter, was the market was in overbought territory, and that overbought area was going to be either worked off by simply retracing and pulling back, or just simply chugging along and moving sideways and working through it. That was the best possible outcome. You want to make sure that when you're writing, folks, maybe you're not writing a newsletter, but you should for yourself. Maybe what you should do is you should journal a little bit. You should, I don't know. I'm not saying maybe you should. I know that you should journal. You should write your thoughts down on a pad of paper. Makes it a whole lot easier when the market actually gives you what you want, and you can go back and take a look at what it was that you wrote down there days ago. Maybe it was weeks ago out there, and that way it becomes easier to pull the trigger. I say get that gunpowder ready if you are sitting on the sidelines, because there is a lot of liquidity out there in the marketplace, and that's liquidity beyond Uncle Ben. That hasn't really even hit the market out here right now. We are taking a look at the ES Mini. It's trading out at 1454 right now. That's up 3 points over the close. If you're watching us on Tiger TV, you're getting the opportunity to take a look at my screens. I absolutely will teach you something about patterns that are out there. It might be A to B equals CD patterns. Might just simply be retracements or expansions using the Fibonacci summation series. And there's really just about 5 or 6 numbers that you have to remember, that you want to remember. They are in life out there. That's 0.382, which we really use to understand the strength of a move. It's 0.618 and 0.786. Those are the numbers. That's the general area where markets will pull back to in between major intersections, where in major intersection are nothing more than where you see a change in polarity, a change in trend in the marketplace out there. And then there's those expansions, 1.272, 1.618. In fact, if you're watching my screen here on the 30-minute ES Mini, which you can always get on Channel 9 on Tiger TV, you're seeing a 1.272 expansion. Let's go take a look at that. In fact, let's go take a look at the retracement as the market made that. Now, the expansion that we're taking a look at, folks, goes from the low that came in last night. Again, this is a 30-minute chart. So this is at 8:30 last night. You had the ES Mini trade down to 1451.50. Made a move for about a couple of hours up into the 10 o'clock time frame. Gets up to 1456 and a quarter. Looks like maybe it gets up to 1456 and a quarter, also at 11 o'clock, and then it moves lower. It moves lower coming into the 6:30 a.m. time frame. So between the swing point low of 1451.50 and the swing point high out there at 1456 and a quarter, if you just simply took that difference, multiplied it times 1.272, in this case here, you would be subtracting it from the swing point high. That would give you your 1.272 expansion. of swing points. What did the market do? It put in a low, at least at this stage here, that came in at 6:30 this morning. Let's go measure the retracement now off of the low that we take a look at. We're looking at major intersections. We're looking at 10 o'clock in the morning. We're looking at 10 o'clock, September 24th. Yeah, that was yesterday morning. Today is the September 25th edition. And if we go from the swing point low to the swing point high, what we'll see here, about a 50% retracement thus far. The actual 0.618, 1449 and a quarter. It got down to 1450 and a quarter. Actually, that's good enough for my work out there. We may be making, or the market may be making, its next A to B equals C to up. If that is the case, folks, the A point would be down here. And again, this is a 30-minute chart out here. We're looking at the 10 o'clock time frame at 1444, all the way up to that high that we already discussed that came in last night at 8 o'clock, and then the low at 6:30 this morning. That would put your ES Mini up back at the levels of the highs, going back against the 9:30 a.m. time frame on September 26 out at 1461.75, 1462. That's on our ES Mini. If we take a look at what else is going on inside the markets, you got the King dollar pulling back about 10 cents right now. Gold up $10, trading out at 17.74. Silver up 30 cents, up 0.9% out there. Some more strength in silver. We may have only seen the only pullback that we're going to see here for a while. That's at 34.28. Even though silver and gold, they are in major overbought. They are extended, but yet still moving higher this morning. Light sweet crude up 80 cents out at 92.73. Our call-in number is 877-927-6648. And as we take a look around the world here before we go to a break, you got the DAX up. The DAX absolutely wants higher price, only up 3 points right now. The FTSE, though, they got the RSVP to the party out here. They're up 10 points. Over in Asia last night, the Nikkei up 22 points. The Shanghai down 4. The Hang Seng up 4 as well. We'll be right back, folks. I hope you're having a terrific Tuesday. If not, just change it. Change the way your shoulders are. We'll be right back, folks.
What type of investor are you? Conservative, moderate, or aggressive? No matter your investor personality, your overall portfolio should reflect your financial goals, time horizon, and your risk tolerance. Help ensure your portfolio is appropriately invested with an asset allocation plan from Morgan Stanley Smith Barney. Simply picking the right stocks is not enough. Research has shown that choosing the right proportion of stocks, bonds, and cash is essential to the success of your long-term investments. Morgan Stanley Smith Barney believes that a carefully selected portfolio can lower volatility and increase investment return potential. Find out about what asset allocation and a Morgan Stanley Smith Barney financial advisor can do for you. Call Angela O'Brien, First Vice President and Certified Financial Planner of the Clearwater, Florida branch at 727-441-6108 today to discuss your personal financial needs. Asset allocation does not assure a profit or protect against loss in declining financial markets. Investments and services are offered through Morgan Stanley Smith Barney, LLC. Member SIPC.
With the launch of TigerTV, TFNN has brought our programming to the next level. With TigerTV, you can gain access to each host's charts and computer screens as they host their daily stock program. Whether it's Tom O'Brien, Steve Rhodes, Basil Chapman, Ken Shreve, Kate Stalter, David White, Larry Pesavento, Victor Jones, or Carol Martin, you can catch all of our technicians hosting their programs live and archived on TigerTV for your viewing pleasure 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. If you haven't checked out TigerTV, then visit TFNN.com and see what you're missing.
80% of traders fail because they don't know when to get in or out of a market, and all because no one taught them how to read the signs. You see, the stock market has a universal language called Japanese candlesticks, and each day, the buyers and sellers, the bulls and bears, go to work and build signs. This language has been around for thousands of years, and it's easy to learn. I'm Steve Rhodes, co-host of the Money Masters Show, and I'm a master sign builder. Download my free report, Candlesticks, The Speed of Trust, on the homepage of TFNN.com for one of the best-kept candlestick secrets. I'll also be conducting an online course Friday, October 19th, to teach you the language of the market's sign builders. You'll learn the best entry and exit techniques and strategies that will create extraordinary rewards. The course will be archived so you can review it as many times as you like, because trading or investing without learning this language is like running a red light. It's an accident waiting to happen, and there's no airbags or seatbelts. All the details are on the homepage of TFNN.com.
Are you looking for a precision edge in the market? Something that can stack the odds in your favor? Then look into Larry Pesavento's new trading newsletter, Patterns, Profits, and Peace of Mind. In each weekly issue, Larry explains what's going to happen in the markets based on the pattern he sees developing and gives you actionable trade ideas based on those patterns. Plus, you'll get his detailed analysis on a variety of markets and sectors, including stocks, treasury bonds, the gold market, oil, the dollar, the forex market, and more. And you'll get the Technical Corner segment, which is a short but powerful weekly training session on trading. You'll get access to all the patterns Larry is seeing in the markets, plus the Astro Harmonics and powerful Bradley stock market model that Larry utilizes for less than $5 a day. An extremely potent combination that will give you just the edge you've been looking for. Try Patterns, Profits, and Peace of Mind absolutely free for 2 weeks. Go to tfnn.com and click on the free trial link at the top of the page. That's an $85 value, yours free when you register right now. Get Larry's Patterns, Profits, and Peace of Mind and get the edge you've been looking for.
Many of our new listeners have heard about the Tiger's Den, but wondered, what exactly is it? The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of your favorite TFNN shows, plus see all the charts as they happen live during those shows, and have access to all those charts. You can test drive the Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days. It will greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets. Details on the Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com. This segment is brought to you by TFNN. Test drive all the newsletters for free at TFNN.com.
It's always better when we're together. Yeah, we'll look at them stars when we're together. Well, it's always better when we're together. Yeah, it's always better when we're together.
Welcome back, folks. 877-927-6648, and it is always better when we're together. Let's start off by taking a look at the transport index out here. And if we take a look at it, there's been much made about the mere fact that there's been a little decoupling over really the last 5 trading sessions that we're talking about. If you're watching us on Tiger TV, the actual candlesticks, and speaking of candlesticks, folks, make sure that you go over to the homepage of TFNN.com and click underneath Breaking News. You will see Silent Signals, The Speed of Trust. It's a free report that I've done out there, but most important, it'll teach you a lesson that you absolutely need to know. You need to understand how these candlesticks, if you do use candlesticks, and there is a secret there that I will teach you. I know that I teach you, folks, that nobody else will have taught you out there. And it is yet something that is probably one of the most powerful things that you need, tools that you need to have in your bag out there, because the bulls and bears are always giving you signals out here. That's certainly we're going to take a look at on the transportation index chart out here. And we're going to take a look at, when we take a look at the candlesticks that we're looking at here represent the transports. The black line that you're looking at happens to be the Dow Industrial. And what you can see here is the Dow has certainly been moving up. As we know, it's actually been moving sideways more than it's been moving up. You can take a look at that flat line that you've got here, and so if you take a look at all the closes out here inside the Dow, that's what you're seeing. That's what has been working on this overbought area. And so if you do take a look at it, what you are seeing is the transports really for 5 days have become decoupled. To me, that's really not such a big issue. Not such a big issue. Why? Because what it was doing was it's also coming back into a resistance area. Two separate support areas, both set up by candlestick patterns. These are 3 candles that form these patterns here. They're called 3 River Morning Star candles. And what you've got here, you got your first one. That's really where the transports moved down to. That was your July 24th area. That set up the first candle. Your second candle to create that 3 River Morning Star is July 25th, and then July 26th out there. That set up the third one. That said that your support area was going to be in that 49.11 range. And Friday, you actually had the Dow transports close to 49.10.79. That's good enough work for me. What did you have yesterday? You had a piercing candle out there. It's not a bullish engulfing, but it is still a bullish candle out there, one that you need to be aware of. There was also a secondary morning star out there. And these candles, this is all about war out here. And the bulls and bears, when they come together, it is the art of war. And this candle pattern, named after one of Japan's great generals, Oda Nobunaga, And when you take a look at the second candle out there, in fact, we've got an Nobunaga Oda, I believe, inside our Tiger's Den. If we take a look at the second Morningstar candle formation out there, that was August 1st, August 2nd, and August 3rd out there. So you got everything that you need at this stage here. We should see the transport start moving higher along with the Dow. That doesn't mean that today can't be a sideways day. I can see a sideways day lasting here for maybe a couple more days, but that should be about it. Come Thursday, we should start to see these prices start moving out of these areas onto their next levels. And you say, hey, Steve-O, where are those next levels? Well, let's go take a look at some of these indexes. Let's go take a look at the S&P 500 out here. And if we take a look at the S&P 500, number one out here, let's first, as I pull the chart up here on Tiger TV, let's first take a look at the actual retracement that has been done here over the course of the last, since September 14th. And when we take a look at the retracements, we're going to come off of the swing point low from September the 4th. The low out there on the S&P, 1396.56. The high that was put in was on September 14th, out at 1474.51. What you can see here, the retracement so far, thus far, on the pullback, less than a 0.382, has not even made it down to the 1444 level. A healthy retracement, a normal retracement, quite frankly, would have taken the S&P back down into the area where it moved up, which was September 13th. That low was 1435, hasn't come close to that, closed out yesterday at 1456. Folks, it has done less than a 0.382 retracement. If we just simply take a look at the possible smaller A to B equals CD, and let's just go ahead and bring it down to the 0.382 level, what that would do is that would give you 1544 on a small A to B equals CD, not 1523, which is the 1-to-1, but 1544 out there. The reason I say that is because you've only done, or the S&P has only done, a 0.382 retracement. In the pre-market, as we come take a look at the stocks are getting close to their gates. You've got Carnival Cruise Line, just got in their gate. They closed out at $37 last night. They're trading up right now at $38.64. Royal Caribbean, not that far behind them. They closed at $30.42, up at $31.57. 877-927-6648. Give us a call, folks. We'll be right back.
In quiet markets, investors search for new trading opportunities. We'd like to introduce you to a new product that provides opportunities even in flat markets. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a new and innovative Chicago-based exchange registered with the Commodity Futures Trading Commission, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their trading platform. Nadex never charges a fee to use their platform, which even includes real-time charts and full customization capability. Nadex's unique short-term binary options allow traders and investors to capitalize on strategies even when the underlying markets are quiet. Nadex's innovation has allowed them to come up with a line of unique trading products that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's NADEX.com, or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors. You've heard Tom O'Brien on the air, and you've seen him on Tiger TV, as well as being featured as a regular CNBC guest and contributor, and now you can have access to his expert trading advice each morning through his daily trading newsletter, Market Insights. Tom O'Brien's daily newsletter, Market Insights, gives traders, investors, and money managers a thorough strategy for trading stocks, options, and indices every market day. Market Insights comes out each market day before 9:30 a.m. and provides traders with Tom's daily commentary, opinion, and specific trade recommendations on the markets. Using advanced Fibonacci methods, volume indicators, Gartley patterns, candlestick charting, gaps, and market timing, Market Insights will give you specific trade recommendations including entry, stop, and exit prices. The summer is over and traders are back. Get your 2-week free trial to Market Insights today by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. If you're an investor looking for a great weekly investment newsletter, then now is the perfect time to try out Ken Shreve's Ultimate Growth Stocks. Every Tuesday, Ken breaks down multiple sectors in his weekly newsletter, Ultimate Growth Stocks, with a full in-depth report including specific trading recommendations within his model portfolio, charts, sector analysis, upcoming economic data, along with intra-week trading updates on newsletter positions whenever the market dictates. Right now, you can receive a full month, that's 30 days, to evaluate Ken's newsletter free of charge to see if it fits your trading plan. At less than $75 per month, Ken provides you with his expert trading advice that can pay for itself in no time. Take advantage of this great offer by signing up for a 30-day free trial to Ken Shreve's Ultimate Growth Stocks today. Don't let this offer pass you by. Visit the front page of TFNN.com and sign up now. If you're a trader thirsty for knowledge, then we have the perfect event for you. Tom O'Brien will be hosting a live 4-hour dynamic trading strategies workshop on September 29th in the Tampa area. This one-of-a-kind workshop takes place from 8 a.m. till noon and is completely free. We'll even be giving away almost $2,000 in door prizes randomly drawn from those that attend live. Along with diagnostic trading expert Daryl Martin, Tom O'Brien will teach you how to identify and set up your trades using dynamic trading strategies, and Daryl Martin will teach you his diagnostic trading formula, including the strategy, system, and style that gives you an edge in this market. For more information and to reserve your spot today for the September 29th free Dynamic Trading Strategies Workshop in Tampa, please visit the front page of TFNN.com. Don't wait to act as space is limited. Sign up today.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
It's always better when we're together. Yeah, we'll look at them stars when we're together. Well, it's always better when we're together. Yeah, it's always better when we're together.
And we're off to the races. You got the Dow up 29 points, S&P's up 3, Composite up 9, small caps up 4, Microsoft up 11 ticks, Intel up 3, Google up 10, Cisco, Google up $10, I should say, Cisco up 7 ticks, Apple down 4 ticks out there. If we take a look at what's leading things to the upside and leading things to the downside, up to the upside you got Google. That has taken off at all-time highs out at 759 right now, 759 and change. That's up 1%. You've got ASML, ASML, they're up 2%. That's up $1.49. Amazon just jumping in there. They just got into second place, up about $1.90 right now. C.H. Robinson, CHRW is their ticker symbol, up $1.75. Questcor Pharmaceuticals, don't get in front of that thing. That is up $1 and change. Carnival Cruise Lines, Carnival PLC, CCL Corp, Carnival Corp, they're up 3% here this morning. Las Vegas Sands, LVS up a couple of percent. Leading things to the downside, you've got Apple off $4. That's off about 0.6% this morning. Ashland Inc. Down 3%. That's off $2 and change. Tesla Motors off $2.50. Merrimack Pharmaceuticals, MAC is the ticker symbol. They're getting hammered this morning, down 20%. Speaking of hammers out there, there were 2 hammers that showed up yesterday, and one of those is Red Hat. The other one, you'd want to go check out my newsletter because that is very likely setting up a trade here this morning. So if you haven't had a chance to test out my newsletter, if you're looking for some education, folks, then go over to the homepage of TFNN.com. You can try that for 30 days. Comes with an unconditional money-back guarantee. That's my unconditional love for you out there. Go test it out. Great information in there, as well as trade setups. The second hammer that showed up yesterday, and now when I say 2 hammers, I scanned all 500 S&P charts, all 30 Dow charts, and the entire NASDAQ 100. So Red Hat, let's go take a look at the stock chart. Let's go see what Red Hat is doing out there. The ticker symbol RHT, and it comes to hammer candles out there. That is what is featured inside my special report that you can get on the homepage of TFNN.com. Candlestick silent signals folks. Go check that out. Now, if we take a look at the hammer candle that showed up yesterday, you can see this. This was during a downtrend right out here. And right now you've got Red Hat trading below that. It's trading at 56.62. It opened down at 56.73. I believe Red Hat had some, maybe they came out with some guidance numbers. Let's go actually see if I can find out what that is. Give me a moment here just to type this in and see what pops up on the news. So Red Hat reported slightly reduced net income. So I guess maybe they came out with numbers. Or maybe they've guided lower. I think they've guided lower for their Q3. No, I take that back. Net income, $35 million versus $39.7 million. That's on the income side. On the revenue side, $322 versus $281. So they had let their costs get in the way of obviously conducting their business. Now, in a hammer candle, folks, when you get a close below it, if you're long, you're wrong. So if you are in Red Hat right now, and yesterday's low was 56.73, it's at 56.49 right now. Not looking too good if you are long in Red Hat. But let's go ahead, as long as we've got this chart up here. The beauty about this equity is this thing had some really nice wide price spread, and it's trying really to come back and test that area. I suspect that where we'll pull back to, is in essence is the swing point level right around July out there. Maybe it's that July 12th level. Watch Red Hat as it pulls down into this thing gapped up March 28th, folks. So if you're taking a look at what a breakout is, here's a great stock chart to take a look at where a breakout is. This thing here closes out the session on March 28th, closes at 51.39, 4.3 million shares. The next morning, gaps up. You've got a wide-ranging bar. You've got accelerated volume, 15 million shares out there. That's your wide price spread accelerated volume. Taking out the previous swing point high that was out there on November 16th. That had less than 2 million shares out there. And so this equity from a longer-term standpoint looks pretty good. It's just this shorter term. When you break and you close below a hammer candle, when you're long, you're wrong. It's just as simple as that out there. And if we take a look at this on a weekly basis, let's go take a look at the weekly chart of Red Hat out here. This thing looks like it is making quite a large A to B equals CD up. So let's go see if we've got a confirmed A to B equals CD up on Red Hat. This is going to take you back to the November 28th low. 750 was the price point. This is the weekly chart that we're looking at. Oh, I got to grab the right tool out here. Okay, so there's your A point. Again, that's on November 21st, 2008, out at 750. Your B point that we're going to use here is going to be the swing point high the week of December 10th. Gets up there with 10 million shares. The price, $49. One of Basil's round number highs out there. What does it do? Actually goes ahead and pulls back into the August 19, 2011 time frame, 19 million shares. Now we're going to go ahead and draw the lines on Red Hat out here, and we're going to come across the top. We're going to see, we're looking at a weekly chart out here. Let's draw the volume bar out here as well. That's going to be volume for the week of December 17th. That was, is that this? Hold on, let me see here. No, December the 10th, 10 million shares out there. So let's go take a look at that, and let's see, because that was that round number high out here. So 10 million shares, that is the number when we're crossing through the B point. You cross through it with 12 million shares. You do it on October 28th. Gives you a confirmation. It does pull back inside the range. The next time that you're up there with any kind of volume happens to be where we took a look at that breakout on March 30th out there. Red Hat does look like on the longer term that this wants to trade up into the 73.41 to 84.38 area. But first it's got to resolve its daily issues out there, and might not be a bad stock chart here to take a look at as it pulls back into this breakout area, which would mean you'd be looking somewhere around the 52.83 level all the way down to 49.51. So this would be an equity if it's coming back into those areas with the right volume pattern that you might want to go ahead and scale into. Let's go take a look at Apple has, what is Apple doing here? Oh, Apple is up now. Okay. So now let's go take a look at Apple. It is joining in on the party here. Apple yesterday pulling back into a area of support. As soon as I can find that on my screen, I can't, so we got to, oh, here we go. So let's go take a look at the Apple chart. and see what's in the Apple tree. Apple, if we take a look at it, had a real strong area of support out here. That was set up by the September 10th candle out there. That was a bearish engulfing candle. You can see it got up to a high of 683.29. Did it with 17 million shares. Folks, when you break through that set up a resistance area originally back on September the 10th. When you break through resistance becomes what? That's right. It becomes support. Now, that candle had 17 million shares. When you break up through it, folks, you took it out with what? You took it out with volume and you gapped up. Apple is not done moving higher. It gapped up. It did 21 million shares out there. All that Apple did yesterday was it came back into the area that was what? That now became support. Now, you can take a look at the two different benchmarks out there from a volume standpoint. You can look at September 10th. That is 17 million shares, and you can also take a look at the day that it gaps up through it with 21 million shares. What does it do yesterday? 22 million shares. So from the standpoint of volume, couldn't bust it down. If you can't bust something down, what are you going to do? You're going to go try to run for the highs. In this case here in Apple, that's going to be up at the 705 level. But if you just take a look at the next area where Apple wants to get up to, it's in that 714. That's where you're going to see a 1.618 expansion, a butterfly expansion. Of course, Apple just simply defies the odds of gravity out there, and that does not mean that's where it wants to stop. That just means that's its next pit stop where it will come in maybe and get a little gas out there. Let's go take a look at some of these stocks here, popping and dropping. Let's go take a look at Merrimack Pharmaceuticals. MACK is the ticker symbol. That's down 19% this morning. I don't see any news on it on my screen, but the news is getting the kibosh, getting absolutely hammered. Mack has run into a Mack truck here, down with volume this morning. Big volume. Looks like this may be an IPO. If that's the case, this thing is coming back to the original IPO day. Let me make sure I've got all of the volume out here. Certainly I do. So let's take a look at this equity and see exactly what he or she has done. March 29th is the IPO, low of 586, a high of 650 out there. Now let's take a look at the A to B equals CD pattern here that it has completed. Let's see if it did it with volume. You're going to come off of the swing point that went ahead and tested the original IPO date. That swing point is June 5th. The low out there, 566. That's your A point. Your B point on this equity is July 25th out at 888. Oh, you got to love it. Crazy eights out there. That's on July 25th. 371,000 shares. Does a pullback here. Does a retracement. Looks like it retraces to the low of 728. Does it on really 2 days. Does it on August 23rd and August 22nd out there. That becomes your C point. The 1-to-1 A to B equals CD was going to take you to 1050. This equity on Friday, well, Thursday actually, gets up to a high of 1111. How about that? It did an 888 and did an 1111. You don't think that there's some patterns out here? How about that? And does a 1111 and then closes out at 1043. Now let's take a look and see, as this thing passed its B point, did it do it with wide price spread? Did it do it with conviction from a volume standpoint or not? As we go measure that B point, we're going to take a look at the volume out there, which was 371,000 shares. As this thing came up through the B point, it did not pass the B point with volume. It did it on the day as it made its D areas. It made the 1-to-1 A to B equals CD. It did it with volume there. You then had one more day of follow-through. That happened to be the trading session of September 24th. That was yesterday. But you can see no volume behind this move. This thing gaps down this morning. It has done it already with 1.1 million shares. This is going to come all the way. Well, first it's going to come back to the swing point low. That's your August 23rd level, $7.28. It sure would have been nice to have seen a nice orderly pullback on this equity without volume coming out of it. You know, maybe take a look at it at the end of the day here, but I suspect that Mack truck here just got flattened and will come all the way back to its lows out here, which is in the $5 range. That is on Merrimack Pharmaceuticals. Let's go take a look at Vail Resorts. You got Vail Resorts up 10% here this morning. MTN is the ticker symbol. Let's see, they did some earnings release out here. Let's see what they did revenue-wise. I guess as we take a look at it, a net loss of $53 million versus $53 million. That's nothing to be right home about. However, we're going to write the chart. Let's go take a look at Vail. Again, MTM Mountain is the ticker symbol for this. This is up this morning. It's got some pretty good volume behind the move out here. So this is on the move, taking out a swing point from September 14th. That swing point at 360,000 shares thus far today, 129,000 in only the first 17 minutes of trading out there. Let's pull this thing back here. Let's go take a look at the weekly chart on this equity, see what she is doing here on a weekly chart now up through some swing points. Let's take a look at the swing points. It's passing the area of December the 17th, really the week of December 17th, the week of December 24th, December 31st out there. It was in the range of 53.80 or at 57.72. Volume in those areas were 1.9 million shares. This thing gets up over it with a million shares. Does it 2 weeks ago. This week here so far about 400,000 shares. The week is early. It is only Terrific Tuesday. Looks to me like what this equity wants to do is make a run for its highs. That would take you back into the October 5th, 2007 area. Has 1.3 million shares. Swing point range of $62 up to 66. That is on Vail Resorts, Inc. Buffalo Wild Wings, BWLD. They are, it is football season, NFL season out there. Nothing like college games on Saturday. Great games out there. BWLD. They do have a few problems in the NFL when it comes to the getting some referees out there. So I would assume that will get resolved here pretty quickly. If we do take a look at Buffalo Wild Wings, this thing has had a couple of nice, let's take a look at the signs of strength and the signs of weakness. Again, BWLD is the ticker symbol. Let me pull back a little bit further. Okay, so let's take a look at the recent signs of strength and weakness out here. The first sign of strength in Buffalo Wild Wings takes you to February 7th, 2010. Closes out that session at $70.19. Very next trading session, folks, gaps up with 6.5 million shares. Take a look at that. Wide price spread, accelerated volume, absolutely. The equity then pulls back. I don't know what led to it, but the first time that you saw some real institutional selling out here wasn't volume off the highs, but you had 1 day of institutional selling out here was April the 24th, 4.4 million shares. Now, that 4.4 million shares, as we take a look at it, was going against that breakout area that had 6.5 million shares. Wasn't able to bust it down, moved up higher, just simply consolidated sideways. You saw a sign of weakness in this equity, though, where it gaps all the way back down to where this thing broke out at. This thing came all the way back to the breakout area. 877-927-6648. Dow's up 18. S&Ps are up 3. We'll be right back, folks.
You take a hands-on approach to managing your investments, and whether you're bullish or bearish on U.S. Treasuries, the ETFs from Direction Shares are there to help you magnify your perspective. Bull ETFs for a rising market and bear ETFs for a falling market. Direction Shares gives you the tools for both sides of the trade. Discover how we can help at DirectionShares.com today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction Shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction Shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction Shares at 800-851-0511. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors employing dynamic strategies. Investors in the fund should understand the consequences of seeking daily investment results, understand the risk of shorting, and intend to actively monitor and manage their investments. Distributor, Foreside Fund Services, LLC. David White's newsletter, The Technology Insider, is focused like a laser on finding the next big things in technology. If you had invested only $10,000 in Microsoft in 1986, you'd have been a millionaire by 2000. Disruptive technology like Microsoft's is the key to these massive long-term profits, and the Tech Insider is the vehicle from TFNN to capitalize on these opportunities. This is the go-to newsletter that identifies, monitors, and profits on mostly little-known cutting-edge companies with great long-term prospects. David's experience is as an inventor of Emmy-winning animation products for TV and Hollywood that propelled a company public. Match that with 14 years as a full-time trader, and he's uniquely qualified to guide you through the light-speed world of ever-evolving high-tech. If you're ready to ride the next big technology bull market for less than $40 per month, log on to TFNN.com and get your 2-week free trial to the Technology Insider. Get in on the ground floor of the next big thing today.
Recently, Basil Chapman has had some outstanding trades in his newsletter, The Opening Call. Each morning by 9 a.m., Basil uploads his newsletter to the TFNN servers so that his subscribers can access his expert trading advice. Basil gives his take on the direction of key indices and updates any active trades that his subscribers are currently in. Just recently, Basil's subscribers closed out a short position in Chipotle Mexican Grill, CMG, for more than an $86 profit per share, over a 20% gain in just one position. If you'd like to check out Basil Chapman's newsletter, The Opening Call, then visit the front page of TFNN.com and click Trading Newsletters. There you'll find Basil's newsletter, The Opening Call, where you can request a free sample copy. Also, don't miss Basil's program, The Tiger Technicians Hour, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 11 a.m. Eastern, on TFNN.
In just December of last year, the price of gold was down over 10%. In today's highly volatile gold market, you need someone in your corner that understands the complex relationships that exist within the price of gold, as well as within a variety of gold equities. Whether it's the South African gold miners and knowing how the Rand-dollar relationship will affect their bottom line, or understanding how John Paulson's $5 billion trade in the GLD can move the market, Tom O'Brien gives you the direction you need to become a better trader each week in his newsletter, The Gold Report. With over 20 individual equities covered and almost another 20 on the potential watch list each week, in addition to covering the XAU, HUI, GLD, and dollar, The Gold Report is a great source for any trader that is looking to be diversified in today's volatile gold market. For your 30-day free trial to Tom O'Brien's Gold Report, log on to TFNN.com today. Don't miss out on this great offer. Act now.
Catch Tom O'Brien and Steve Rhodes as they teach you the art of mastering money when it comes to trading and investing. The Money Masters, next on TFNN.
It's always better when we're together. Yeah, we'll look at them stars when we're together. Well, it's always better when we're together. Yeah, it's always better when we're together.
It absolutely is, folks. Welcome back, 877-927-6648. We were talking, we were having those buffalo. You like wild wings? Or just how about just simply wings? Who doesn't like wings out there? You know, all those different sauces to choose from. Buffalo Wild Wings, I think they've got about 20 different sauces, and you can make your own, mix and match out there. We're taking a look at Buffalo Wild Wings. This thing had shown a very nice sign of strength in February 7th here. It's had a couple signs of some institutional selling, but we can see some institutions are still in there supporting this equity. This pulls back into a breakout area. That breakout area, the benchmark volume, is going to be about 6.6 million shares. Let's go ahead and finish this off. As we take a look at Buffalo Wild Wings, let's take a look at the actual area where it broke out from. That takes you all the way back into the February 7th time frame. If you take a look at the volume out there, you can see even when it was pulling back, it did not have enough volume. You had 4.7 million shares going against the 6.5 million shares. That area. Now, what you wanted to do here is you wanted to wait for another signal before entering a trade here. And so that meant you had to be patient for a few days. You want to be patient. You've got the bulls and bears. They're out there doing nothing more than building signs. You want to learn how to read those signs. In fact, if you don't know how and you'd like to learn how to read those signs, I am doing a one-day online workshop. It's going to be on October the 19th. It's a Friday. It'll be archived on your members page out there. And it's going to be just simply, as always, just simply a fantastic education. Now, if you were patient action and you waited. The real test came here on August the 2nd as Buffalo Wild Wings pulled back with 543,000 shares. At 543,000 shares, going against the actual breakout day now, which had 2 million shares. That's what you want to see. That had an actual piercing candle that it formed out there, and then she's off to the races here. Now, off to the races, what does that mean? Right now, you've got Buffalo Wild Wings moving into an area here where it was consolidating. It's taking on a swing point where there was a slight little breakdown. That had 410,000 shares thus far today. Buffalo Wild Wings, 238,000 shares, so it's got the juice to take out at least that swing point. That's out at 86.90. It's at 86.36 right now. Has gotten up to a high so far today of 86.82. So, look for Buffalo Wild Wings. Looks like it wants to make a run into its highs. That should take it into the $89 to $94 level. BWLD is the ticker symbol there. Let's go take a look at, let's see, what do we have here? That is dropping. Anything major? How about things on the way upside? We already took a look at Vail. Let's go take a look at... Let's go look at Tesla Motors, TSLA. That is down about 7%. Let's go see if there's any volume behind this equity here. So far, there is volume. So there is volume today. If we take a look at volume today versus yesterday, it looks like it's already surpassed that. In fact, it has. Thus far, 1.8 million shares. So what is Tesla doing? Tesla has this high volume, low area. It's been tested once, tested twice. It's going to be tested again. That should bring Tesla Motors back into the, it's been in kind of a consolidation range here, not because necessarily of gaps. Looks like Tesla wants to come back down into the August 2nd time frame. That would take into the 25.52, 26.85 level. Folks, stay tuned. The Money Masters show is next, and following that, as we do on every Terrific Tuesday, we go out to Santa Fe, New Mexico to Kate Stalter. Then 12 to 1 is Option Hour. Victor Jones, 1 to 2, Darrell White, 2 to 3, David. Darrell Martin is 1 to 2, David White 2 to 3, Ken Shreve 3 to 4. Remember this, folks. Rule your mind and you will rule your world, and vision is the direction. But love, folks, love is the purpose. Have a great Tuesday. I look forward to seeing you soon. Take care. Bye-bye now.